Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the topic of today is value proposition. We will focus on how cultural heritage and CCI actors can decide the coherent market strategy. So for market strategy, we do not mean just selling more, but understanding what value we create this value for, how we reach the potential customers, how they experience our offer, and how this generates cultural, social, and economic impact over time. Just before jumping, just a brief presentation. I'm Giovanni Scaramuzzo, working for Basilicata Creativa. My main job is being father of Diego and Sara, amateur swimmer and travel lover, graduated in political science, European studies with a master's degree in business and administration. I've coordinated several projects, among them CR.EU.IN, and I was involved as a founder of a startup called T-Box Chain that we called then Do-Way. That was a startup to fight fake online reviews based on blockchain technologies. So the objective of today is, let's say, is very practical. We will not focus only on communication nor on just on business modeling. We will try to connect value, audiences, channels, and partnerships. So just to make you, just to help you make your cultural or creative offer more visible, meaningful, and sustainable. Why market strategy matters? So many cultural heritage and creative projects start from a strong asset. It might be a collection, a place, a story, a tradition, or digital archive. But cultural value does not automatically become audience value because people need to discover it, understand it, access, connect emotionally with it, and see why it matters to them. So sometimes we have that the target audience is unclear. There is a weak positioning. Communication is fragmented. There is low visitor retention, for instance, or difficulty in demonstrating impact. We can think of a market strategy as a triangle. One side of this is the value we create. Second is the audience. For whom is this value relevant? And third, how people discover, access, and experience this value. If one side of this triangle is weak, the whole strategy becomes much weaker. So a strong cultural story with the wrong channel remains invisible. A digital tool with a poor user journey creates frustration, and a beautiful product with no clear audience struggle to grow. Sometimes there is a misalignment between product, audience, and journey. I don't know, some of you might probably remember Google Glass. When they were presented on the market, according to Google, they would have been, let's say, the complete disruption. In fact, it completely fails because users did not feel that strong need for such a device. In fact, Google ended the Explorer sales program in January 2015. In cultural heritage, a softer version of what happened with Google Glasses is with the museum apps. A lot of museums developed their own apps. I mean mobile apps. Even if the content might be wonderful, but sometimes the user journey is too heavy. You need to download the app, to connect to Wi-Fi, to register, uh, and then you finally have access to the content. So this heavy process has been translated, according to some studies, in the fact that just only 2.5% of visitors download these apps and use them. The opposite is when the experience of the users is very frictionless. We have the example of the Cooper-Hewitt pen, that where they, instead of asking visitors to download something, the museum gave this digital tool at the entry. So during the visit, visitors could experience, let's say, an enriched visit thanks to a device that was provided by the museum itself. So the lessons that we have is very easy. We don't not only need to ask ourselves if the product is innovative, but we need to understand if this product, this process fit the audience, but in the right moment, at the right time. So let's start from what is a value proposition. According this term was made popular in 1988 by McKinsey Company in a paper that described it as a clear and simple statement of benefits. So we are not talking about a slogan, and we are not talking about a list of features. It is a clear statement of why a specific audience should care. In cultural heritage and creative and cultural industries, this is especially important because there are different, let's say, different perspectives of value. It can be just cultural, educational, emotional, social, economic, or environmental. The challenge is to make this value explicit. So value proposition, well-stated value proposition should answer the following questions. Who are we serving? What need, aspiration, or barrier do they have? What cultural, social, or practical value are we creating? Why is the offer meaningful and distinctive? And what change or benefit does the audience experience? As an example, I would like to bring the Google value proposition. In my opinion, is very is perfect to understand what we're talking about. For Google, the value proposition is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So, in a sentence, Google said what they are providing the customers, the users with. As said, we have different values that we can provide. So heritage value is really multidimensional. Sometimes in other industrial ecosystem, probably value is just about saving time, saving money, or solving a functional problem. Whilst in cultural heritage, we are talking about a broader topic. So a visitor may look for emotion or discovery. A school might be looking for learning. Local community for recognition. Public authority probably would like to address inclusion and territorial development. So your value proposition, our value proposition should reflect this wider meaning of value. So the value proposition should be, in order to be strong, should be very specific. For instance, it's useless to say we provide digital solution for cultural heritage. Is extremely broad. So, who is this solution for? What problem does it solve? What value does it create? Is it for a small museum for whom the value can be just simplicity and affordability? Is this solution for a school that is just looking for something, some learning material ready to be used? Or is it for a municipality where the problem to solve is inclusion, visibility, and, for instance, tourism sustainability? So, just some cases of value proposition. We have this Bloomberg Connects that offer digital guides for cultural space and include accessibility features such as voiceover, captions, transcripts, the possibility to zoom in images and adjust fonts. So the value is not simply the app, so it's just not downloading the app, but enriching the experience, reducing barriers both for the institutions and the audience. Another example is Smartify. So the value proposition logic is digital visitor engagement and storytelling. Uh, Smartify position itself around this engagement, accessibility, AI-powered storytelling, and performance tracking. It's not only about the visit itself, but about helping cultural organizations build a long-term relationship with audiences. We will see later how it's important to pass from one-off visit to repetitive to long-lasting relationship. Then we have the Rijksmuseum collection online that allows users to search, gather, download, and share collection images of collection information using linked open data and AI technologies. This solution transforms the collection into a reusable cultural resources. This is also what happens with Art UK that offer free online access to around 1 million artworks from more than artists. And in this way make public art more discoverable. At European level, we have the common EU data space for cultural heritage that aims to widen the access to cultural heritage data and enable reuse of this data for innovation and value creation. So value, this is the first side of the triangle we were mentioning before. The second one is audience. Sometimes in a very naive way, we say that our solution is for the general public. So there is no such a thing as the general public. So saying that the audience is everyone is very weak as a proposition, because in the end you don't know whom you should address, whom give priority. It's normal that in reality different groups have different motivations, barriers, and also preferred channels. A family, a school teacher, a cultural tourist, museum director will not respond to the same message. So it's important to segment our audience, because in this way we are better positioned to make better strategic choices. So different, I said, different audiences give importance to different things. Can generate different values. So a digital archive can be a learning tool for schools or a creative resource for designers, a storytelling source for the tourism operator, and a preservation asset for an institution. The so the question we need to raise is which audience should we prioritize first and why? Uh, so, because the audience have also different barriers. Cultural tourists may lack time or information. Local heritage may perceive that their own heritage is not for them. Children may lose interest when, if a family, for instance, is visiting a museum. School may lack ready-to-use materials and so on. So, as said, segmentation is useful only if it leads to choices, strategic choices. In fact, resources are limited by definition, and so we as a companies cannot reach every audience at the same time. So we should start from that audience where we understand that the need is very strong, is very urgent. The value we provide is very clear for them. The channel is is reachable, and the potential for learning or impact is very high. So we can talking about our customer. It's important to understand the different touch points that we have while the customer is making. It's not only important attracting the right people, providing them with the right message, my, but it's important to find the right moment to convey this message. A person may discover your offer. We can let's say engage with customer during the awareness phase when they are discovering about us. During the interest phase, during the planning phase, when after the discovery, the user has already decided that he will experience certain service or product, but also after the experience, during the reflection. Don't forget that people talk. So also engaging with them after the experience, when they are telling other people about their experiences, is very relevant. But also it's important to engage with them at the end, because in order to push them come back. So what let's sorry. The customer journey, as said, it's help us identify where the market strategy needs improvement. Maybe the awareness is weak because the audience doesn't know that the offer exists. Maybe planning is difficult because information is not clear. Maybe the experience is strong. but there is no follow-up. Maybe accessibility barriers prevent some groups from participating. So the journey map transforms an very vague concept of audience into concrete experience. For each journey stage, we need to raise questions to understand what is the user trying to do, how do they feel, if there are some pains to be addressed, if they are lacking some information, facing some barriers, if the channel is the right one in that specific moment, how accessibility or engagement can be improved, and what evidences can be collected. Because don't forget that collecting data, collecting information help us improve our strategy. So just some example about the journey, about pain points. Sometimes because we fail to match the message with the motivation, customers don't understand if what we are providing is very relevant for them. Going more into a concrete example, let's start from the Cleveland Museum of Art, where they introduce this introduce digital tools after 2 years of studying and measuring how digital technologies affected the visitor experience and learning. Talking about access and inclusion, Bloomberg Connects is useful because in their case, accessibility is embedded into the channel itself with the features that we were mentioning before: voiceover, captions, transcripts, and font size adjustment. If we talk about what happens after the visit, the platforms such as Smartify, Rijksmuseum, that the relationship can continue beyond the physical visit. Because Smartify focuses on moving from one-off visit to lasting relationship, while the Rijksmuseum and Art UK make collections searchable, shareable, and reusable online. So a lesson that we can take is that journey is not a communication funnel only. It's a sequence of decisions, emotions, and barriers. Analyze the first two sides of the triangles. The third one is the distribution channel. A value proposition becomes real only when it reaches the audience through the right channels. There are different routes. So, schools may be reached through educational networks, touring through destination platforms or tour operators, cultural professionals through sector networks, or young audiences through social media and creators, local communities through trusted local intermediaries. So the channels that we can use that we should use in a different way according to the audience are different. Here we would like to provide, let's say, just an example of the many different channels that can be used. So also channels obviously need to strategize them to use in a different way. So channels, we shouldn't think of channels only as a promotion. For instance, a museum partnership can help create trust. A school network can enable adoption. A digital platform can increase visibility. A cultural cluster can open B2B opportunities. local association can improve inclusion. So the channel strategy should be aligned with the audience, the journey, and the value proposition. So is a triangle. If one of the side fails, the whole strategy fails. Sometimes in the cultural heritage sector, the real channel can be partners. Distribution in our sector often happens through partnership. This is especially true for small and medium-sized enterprises. For instance, a small company may not have direct access to all audiences, but a museum, municipality, school, tourism board, or cultural network may already have trust and reach. So a strong market strategy asks who already has access to the audience we want to serve. And in that case, create a partnership with them can make it much easier to reach the relevant audience. We should not also forget about accessibility and inclusion. So more people means make the strategy stronger. But accessibility should not be treated as an add-on just at the end of the strategy definition. It should be part and make a full part of the value proposition. If people cannot understand, reach, afford, navigate, or feel welcome in the experience, the value is limited. Accessibility also expand audiences and strengthen social impacts. It's important that we manage to transform the that first time or that time we manage to really engage with our user in a long-lasting relationship. This make our business more sustainable. So the aim of our market strategy is not only attract the audience once, but is to create meaningful and engagement long-term impact. In heritage and creative and cultural industries, this can mean learning, participation, community connection, creative reuse, sustainable tourism. So the market strategy should therefore include what happens after the first interaction. So normally, when we define our market strategy, obviously we cannot know everything. We have some intuitions, we have some market data, and we have our gut feelings that are obviously important. But we have a lot of assumptions, and these assumptions need to be tested. We I have to say that normally when we make as entrepreneurs we fall in love with our ideas. So sometimes we have many biases that affect our business ideas. This audience has a specific need, or this value proposition is meaningful, these channels can reach them, this partner that I have in mind will surely collaborate, the message I'm conveying will be understood, or the experience will be accessible and the model sustainable. Take into consideration that that assumptions are not facts. Therefore, we need to implement an iterative process that is test. After test, we learn, validate, and start from the beginning. Talking about testing, I would like to introduce these concepts. We have let's say, good
Okay.
market.
It's okay, Giovanni. I think we lost you for a minute, but yeah, connection is okay now.
Okay, sorry, probably I need to. Okay, so I don't know which part you lost.
I think no, it's
Caterina, can you hear
fine. I
me?
think it was like for 2 seconds now.
Okay. Apologies for that. I said we have three types of knowledge. The thing that we already know, we found data, we found market analysis, we had some experiences. So those are data that we can use to build our strategy. Then there are things that we don't know, and we know that we don't know those things. So we can investigate, we can raise questions with our users. Normally, we make surveys and so on. But there is this concept that was introduced by Professor John Mullins from the London Business School of unknown unknowns or unknowns to describe yet know they should investigate. Mullins stressed the idea that these hidden barriers can dramatically change the business idea. And conventional surveys are often better at clarifying what we already know, or those things that we know that we don't know, than discovering the uncanks. For instance, in cultural heritage, an SME may think that the key question is, will visitors like our digital tool? But they will not know if but the hidden question might be, will the museum staff have the time to manage it? Or will the visitors have enough connectivity on site? Or will the digital layer make the experience feel less authentic? So this is why interviews, pilots, observation, and small experiments are essentials. Because with these uncanks, are where the biggest risk, but also the very big opportunities lie. So, following the lean startup approach, we need to try to test as much as possible before making a big investment, because in the end we run the risk of wasting a lot of money, and it's a pity. As I said, most of the companies believe that they are unique. Most of the companies start up, fall in love with their ideas, and according to, or their idea will make is their competitive advantage. But according to many studies, the success of a company, the idea is just 1% of the success of a company. So there are many ideas, and it's better to play wisely during the implementation phase. So the test will not need to be very complex. For instance, a landing page might be enough to test the interest. Short pilot can test engagement. Interviews can test organizational needs. QR codes can test behaviors, or a prototype can test usability. The key is to define what you want to learn before launching the test. I will make a small example of how the test can be designed. I don't know, probably it's a bit outdated now, but Dropbox was used a lot in the past years. their test or their minimum viable product. This is what they call in the startup lean approach. Was just a video where they were presenting the how Dropbox should work to the wide audience. After this video, they had a lot of people that register as a beta tester, and so they knew that at least there was a community that was really interested in the product they were developing. I would like also to introduce this practical framework that can be used to draft
Okay, I think there is an issue with the connection.
the strategy.
Sorry, Giovanni, I don't know if you can hear us. We have an issue with the connection. Could you tell us again about this canvas? I mean, we lost you at the beginning of the slide.
Let me switch to a different Wi-Fi. Okay, probably connection with my mobile will be more stable. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Also, you could also, see some suggestions in the chat. You could also switch off video if the connection is very weak. But we can try at least. Okay, yes, this was a slide we lost you, yeah.
Okay, I think that now should work because I saw that the line, I'm not in my office today and the line was a bit, the signal was a bit weak, but through the mobile phone should work better. So this is a practical, very practical framework that we can use to develop our market strategy, but please don't treat this as a fixed document, but just as a learning tool. Because when we first draft this Canva, each answer will contain assumptions. For instance, we assume that the audience will care, that the channel will work, the partner will collaborate, and so on. So the stronger the strategy, the more clearly we will be able to explain the link between value, audiences, journey, channels, and impact. But I would say that the smarter is the strategy, the more willing we will be to test and adapt it. So this will be just the first step towards improving, iterate our strategy. So sometimes, as said, we make wrong assumptions, and I would like to introduce this word of pivot. So a pivot in the lean startup approach is not a failure. It is an evidence-based adaptation. In the lean startup, it is defined as a structural course correction to test a new hypothesis about the product, the strategy, or growth model. It's important, as said before, to test, to get information from the field. And so we have many examples of companies that were born to do something, but in the end are making something completely different. For instance, when Airbnb was founded, the founders were just were just renting air mattress in their San Francisco apartment because there was a design congress. So they they were renting those air mattresses just to address a specific need in that very moment. They have probably no idea about what Airbnb should have become in the end as a concrete accommodation platform. Or, for instance, we have YouTube that initially was born to be a video dating site that was called TuneIn Hookup. Then the founders pivoted to a general video sharing platform when they noticed that users were just uploading every kind of video. Or Netflix that started renting mail order DVD to online streaming platform. Or consider that there are companies that we know today, such as Samsung, that started their business as fish sellers and so on. So pivot is normal. We have sometimes, for instance, we test our idea and we see that tourists are not downloading the app. So we can move from having our mobile app to a QR code or a web app. So no need to download anything. So just some example of how a test can show that there is a need to make a change. So I would like to all of you to have this to try to complete this market strategy Canva. I think that these slides will be shared with all of you after this session. So I would like to invite you to fill in this different section and start testing. So just start from a specific audience, not everyone. Identify the value that we create, try to track the journey, the channels that can reach them, and just test, learn, iterate, as said before. So just to conclude, cultural value needs a strategy to become visible, accessible, and sustainable. The key takeaways are just start from value and audience, not focus just on the product. Map the full visitor or user journey. Consider that partnership can be very important as a strategic distributor. Test assumption before scaling, before investing that much into a new product. Test, learn, iterate. Segment your market. Choose channels. Consider accessibility since the beginning, and be ready to pivot, to change if evidences are, let's say, are making your assumption false. That's all from me. I would like to thank all of you for the attention. And if you take a peek of the QR code, you have all my contacts in case you would like to contact me after this session. But now, if there are questions, I would be more than glad to to answer.
Okay, let's wait like a minute if someone wants to ask anything.
Shall I stop sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you so much for this presentation. It was very insightful. If there are no further questions, I would like to thank you all for participating today. And of course, a special thank to Giovanni for the presentation. If you have some questions, additional ones after this session, please feel free to contact us by email. Okay, so before we close, I would also like to remind you that our next session will take place next Monday and will focus on market analysis and segmentation. And we will see you there. So thank you once again, and have a nice afternoon. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.